What's going on, YouTube? This is Blazing Dragon. Just wanted to give you guys a little vlog update on Dragon's Game Den, and also for the retro game reviews that GENEXMAVRICK and I will be basically doing every once in a while for our new little channel session. That's what I'm going to call it. But we've been talking about doing this for a very, very long time. We now have a long list that could probably last up to about a year when it comes to the actual gaming reviews. I mean, we've got tons. We're going to be ranging them between different actual console platforms. We're going to be doing Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, We're going to be doing maybe some Atari games. We're also going to be doing N64, probably Sony PlayStation, and we're going to work our way up is what we're going to do. And some of the consoles that we actually don't have, we're going to try to get. So that's including some of the old retro games with a list of some of them we don't have but we've named off. We have talked about doing emulators, but sometimes the emulators, I hate to say it, the files can be corrupt, which means when you're showing the gameplay and while you're reviewing it, sometimes it kind of glitches out a little bit, so it's not true quality. So even though some of them work really well and some of them don't, we just figure cartridge is for sure going to show us, the whole package basically that game is going to deliver. GENEXMAVRICK has also done a preview intro of the actual retro game reviews. So I'm going to be posting that on here after this vlog, so that way you can see what it looks like, and you guys can tell me in the comments what you think about it. Maybe if there's something you'd like us to add or improve, let us know. We also have been talking about having maybe some special guests, people that are really doing well in the gaming communities. Also game stores, we've been talking about that as well, like some of the small game stores besides GameStop. I'm not really big into giving GameStop a lot of viewpoints, because people really hate GameStop right now, and me to do that would not be a good idea. We have a store here in town called the Village Geek. It's in McPherson, Kansas, and it's doing very well. It's starting to do tournaments between shooters, fighters. It just did one called the Zombie Apocalypse, where if you dressed up as a zombie, you could have special prizes. And they also played Left 4 Dead that night on the PC. They did a lot more too. I'm just not able to name them off right now, but that's kind of the idea of what we're looking at for small game stores that you might see, and we might try to promote them a little bit, to help them out, because I never leave out the middleman or the small man. When they're trying to make a name for themselves and they're trying to do something with their business, it's the same thing that I will do with people here on YouTube. You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. That's how it should be. Sometimes it doesn't always happen. For Dragon's Game Den itself, I figure I'll get on that topic now. Dragon's Game Den has kind of slowed down, and the only reason that it has is because school's been kind of more of an involvement for me. I do it on either Fridays or Saturdays. I can't give you a direct actual day because the way my schedule is really offset when I work. And school itself, that's another thing. So school comes major priority for me right now because I'm doing really well. I got a 4.0 GPA average. So that's kind of the big run right now. But Dragon's Game Den, I would like to keep it going. It has kind of evolved and it has grown, but I wish I could keep doing it a little more. I just can't do it all the time. I can't do it every day. You know what I'm trying to say. If I was able to do it every day, then you wouldn't see me going to school, you wouldn't be seeing me going to work, and you wouldn't be seeing me have time for my damn life. So, with that being said, you know, there's a lot more important things than just going and doing Dragon's Game Den streaming. I do stream every once in a while. It's on off days. And if I'm not working, then I might be streaming. Just because it's my day off. And it kind of gives me my own little time for myself. There are times I would like people to join the stream. And if I'm playing a fighting game like Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition or Mortal Kombat or something like that. If you guys want to come in during the stream, or if you want to have some involvement with it, please let me know on the channel. Now, my URL should be up on my channel. It should be Blog TV is where I actually do my streams. If you look for it, it should be there. Also, Dragon's Game Den nights. What I would like to do is either Friday nights or Saturday. Sunday nights probably are not going to work because mainly that's kind of like the night that I actually have to go back into work on nighttime, which is from 11 until 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning. So with that kind of being a weird schedule, the more people that can have an involvement with Dragon's Game, then that's great. The usual people that I play with is like Buckwheat 08, DJ Scotty J, Uber Bolt, Dyka Shot, GENEXMAVRICK, Eureka, one of them. I think that's Native 98, that's also another one that I usually play with every once in a while. I haven't had him on Dragon's Game Den for a bit, but I have had a couple of other friends that, you know, I don't play with all the time, but I do talk to them from, you know, an occasion. So, with that being said, you know, I usually have the real people that I play with that I know personally. They play with me more than anybody, but it's not that I won't have someone else come in and play, you know, and have an option to come in for a Dragon's Game Den night for a caster, so that way you can be seen on YouTube, you know, and have fun with the game itself and not stress too much about things. Granted, the people that I play with have different personalities, but, you know, we don't ever treat each other like crap. Of course, we do have a couple of friends that actually like to talk some smack, but they do it in a friendly manner. They try not to do it to where it pisses people off. So, if you want to have an involvement with Dragon's Game Den, you can let me know on my YouTube channel and send me a message. Also, before I leave, I want to give some shout outs to people that I haven't talked to for a while on YouTube, and I haven't seen comments from them for a while, and I haven't done much commenting myself. I want to give some comments, or not comments, I want to give some shout outs to Big Cypher. He's been working really hard at getting better with his guy character on Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. Also want to give a shout out to Hammerhead C. He's been doing the same thing with his Reviews. Also want to give a few more shout outs for a couple of my fighting friends that are actually doing really well and have been practicing hard. One is Jay Legend, and the other one is Captain Saint. Those two are very good fighters as well. Any of those names that you heard me just name off, if you haven't went to their YouTube channel and you like fighting games, please go and look at some of their videos. They do really good at trying to get their own combination set. You know, they've been trying to get the word from pros, people to actually go into tournaments and getting better. So they're trying to step their level up a lot more than what I would consider myself. Because when I play fighting games, I'll be honest with you, I'm not garbage, but I'm kind of decent. I'm not one of those players that wants to take hours upon hours upon hours of just practicing a fighting game. There's so many different genres for me to play, you know, between the shooting, the RTSs, the RPGs, you know, and there's a lot of fighting games too, so I mean for me, I just can't limit myself to one game. But these guys have a lot of dedication and they're really good on that game. One other shout out I want to do, because he's been helping me a lot. And the only reason I'm doing this for the last shout out is because GENEXMAVRICK, someone who really got me into the video capturing, he's been doing it since he was in college. And ever since Halo 2. But when he got me into it, you know, I wasn't really interested into the capturing itself. You know, I was just kind of more interested in playing the game. And now I can see where the enjoyment is of capturing and trying to edit and do different things and manipulate the certain videos of what you're trying to work with. Really kind of makes me feel good about the YouTube community because it ranges so well. And if you ever want me to help you with subscribers, you know, I'll scratch your back, and, you know, if you scratch mine. That's the way YouTube usually is. I mean, if you help someone out, you know, you would think hopefully you would get it in return. Sometimes it doesn't always happen, but you hope it does happen. So that's why with a lot of the guys that I've known through YouTube for at least probably a couple of years now, I'm probably at least 2 years down the road of being a YouTube user. So Hammerhead C was actually the very first guy that I basically, you know, subbed and liked because right off the bat, you know, I started seeing some of the Street Fighter videos because I love Street Fighter. But I started seeing him get better and better. You know, I could see the level he was increasing. So I would play a little bit more, you know, and we kind of have fun anyway. Big Scythe, started to get to know him a little bit more through Hammerhead. And then through Hammerhead and Big Scythe went J Legend, and then J Legend, and then went to Cap Spence. So I mean, all these guys, you know, to me, play the game at a really high level, and it's really nice to watch people take that dedication and go for it. But for me, considering of where I'm going with, I guess, my gaming repertoire, it's good for me to play different games because that way I can have an involvement, you know, and spread the wealth, basically, keep it going. But just want to tell everybody that I'm proud, you know, proud of each one of my friends. And any of the new subscribers that I've posted off to, you know, if you ever want to get a good shout out, you know, I can definitely do that for you. Just let me know in the comment section after this video is over, and I will let you guys know here very soon when the retro game reviews come into play, and hopefully get a schedule out with Dragon being there. So, that being said, everyone, I appreciate you coming and looking